Hello, this is a review of the Double Eagle M21 airsoft pistol. I bought an airsoft pistol not to play airsoft, but to, let's say, discourage unwanted varmints from coming into my yard. And it's something to fool around with and, target practice and kill some time, stuff like this. I mean, when I was a kid, I had a BB gun and I had a lot of fun with that. And now they have these airsoft guns that are a little safer that shoot the plastic BBs, so I thought I would pick one up. This is the box it came in. Most people seem to get a box that's much different than this. It has a picture of the gun on it and so forth. But this is the box I got, this plain white box. It says BB TAC M21 made in China. And then it says custom designed spring gun, and it says a bunch of crap about how it's an airsoft gun, it's not a real gun. And I would imagine they have to put that on there when it's imported into the country so, it doesn't confiscate it as an illegal weapon or something like that. When you get it, it comes with this card that tells you different military terms. You get a tech support thing. Hot Import Toys is where I got this from, and this has their tech support numbers and says, we can help you if you have a problem with it or whatever. Comes with a manual. This is a very good manual. It's written in really easily understandable English, and it just gives, in the front it gives, your basic warnings, wear eye protection, don't let little kids use it or whatever. And it has your basic pictures about, don't shoot yourself in the face, don't shoot other people. It shows the gun, shows the various parts of the gun. It shows operating it safely, how to load it, how to shoot it, and how to clean it. It also comes with a package of BBs. Most people say these BBs that they give you with guns are junk and not to use them, so I haven't used them. Here's the gun itself. As you can see, it looks very much like a Colt 1911. When you pick it up, the first thing you notice is the weight. It actually is quite heavy, much heavier than you would expect. And the reason for that is that they have steel weights inside the grip. And I would imagine this is to make it, give it the weight, more realistic weight of a real gun. And it does, it does feel, like you're holding something substantial in your hand. It doesn't feel like cheap plastic. It is in fact made of plastic. However, it seems to be a rather high quality plastic, not real cheap or flimsy. I think it should last quite a while. Has an orange tip as required by law. A lot of people say they want to take these orange tips off and so forth. I don't recommend this because that's about the only thing that makes it easy to understand that it's not a real gun. And it looks pretty realistic, so if you walk around with this gun or run around with it or whatever, people may think you don't have the orange tip, people may think you have a real gun, and they call the cops on you. You might have cops drawing guns on you and so forth, so you don't want that happening. We had an incident here in my state where a couple guys were walking to the farmer's market and they had pistols in holsters and they had AR-15s on their backs. And these were real guns, not airsoft guns. And a bunch of people freaked out and called the cops, and the cops pulled guns on them, handcuffed them, all this other crap, questioned them, and then they let them go because they weren't actually breaking any laws. And I think they did this just to get a rise out of the police, because one guy had a video camera on him at the time. But, be safe, leave your orange tip on, and have fun. The safety is right here. When the safety is on, you cannot cock the gun and you cannot pull the trigger. It has a functioning trigger, and by functioning I mean that the trigger does go back when the gun is cocked and it does go forward when you fire, but of course it's just for looks because it doesn't actually do anything on an airsoft gun. It also has a second safety right here on the grip. You have to be putting pressure on this safety to fire the gun, otherwise it will not fire. And I believe that is a feature that the real Colt 1911 has. I've never seen a real Colt 1911, but I've seen pictures of it and I've read somewhat about it, so I know a little bit about it. Your mag release is right here. You push this button to release the mag. Now this magazine holds 20 rounds. You feed your BBs into the top here. You just keep putting BBs in one after the other till you have them all in. You don't have to pull down anything. There's a spring in here, but you don't have to pull down any spring-loaded jobs or anything like that. You just put your BBs in there. This mag is also plastic. I'm really happy with this magazine. It holds 20 rounds, which I like. Plus the fact I've never had any problems with it double feeding or jamming up. I've never had the gun jam up or have any problems like that whatsoever. So I'm really happy with this magazine as far as, how it's worked out for me. Of course, this is a fake slide catch here. The slide catch does not actually work, but if you turn the gun over, right here, if you push like with an object here, you can pop the slide catch out, and then the gun can be taken apart. It can be disassembled. The slide can be taken off of the lower body in case you would have to take it apart or you would want to or whatever. Overall, I think it's very well executed. It looks very much like a real 1911, and it feels like it with the weights that they have in there. So on looks and so forth, I rate it rather highly, even though it is plastic. Like I say, it's probably what they call ABS plastic, so I think it should last for a while if you're careful with it. You don't want to drop it on concrete or anything like that. Now, as far as the performance of the gun, I myself don't have a chrono, but I saw a review where a guy chronoed it, and with .20 BBs, he was getting about 200 feet per second, and with .12s, he was getting about 250 feet per second. I feel that's pretty good performance for a low-cost gun. I should point out this gun only costs, I think it was between $6 and $7, and with the shipping it was about $15. So it's pretty cheap, and it's a pretty nice gun for that price. I think it's pretty well done. It's made in China, as most stuff is nowadays. Shooting the gun, I think I'm gonna probably make a separate shooting video, but as far as shooting the gun, I think the adequacy is accurate. They say the .20s give you better accuracy. I don't know. I don't have any of those on hand. I will try them at some point. I think it maybe shoots a little high with the .12s, but it's really not too bad for a low-cost pistol. And so I'm really, pretty happy as far as accuracy goes for what I paid. The cocking of it is a little bit hard to cock. It may be a little bit too difficult for kids, like say under 10 years old, but I would say if you're over 10, I think you should be able to handle it. As far as why would you want this gun? Well, number one, it looks like a 1911. If you're a 1911 fan, you can't afford a real 1911 or don't want to buy a real gun, it's kind of cool to have. It's good to have for if you're, say, a World War II reenactor and you need a sidearm. It looks very much like a real 1911. And if you have it in a holster, they can only see like the grip or whatever. It's pretty hard to tell that it's not a real 1911. If you have like the younger kids and they want to have an airsoft war in their backyard or whatever, it would be good for that because it holds the 20 rounds and so forth. And it's really cheap to buy. If they break it, it's not that big of a deal. And it's just, a nice gun to have around for just shooting at stuff, shooting cans or whatever, or scaring away varmints out of your yard. So overall, I rate it rather highly. I think it looks very much like a 1911. I'm pretty happy with the accuracy and power of it for the money. The magazine, I think, is outstanding. I'm very happy with the magazine. I've had no problems with this gun whatsoever. I've had no double loading or jamming. or any problem to speak of. So as far as performance-wise, I'm very happy. So if you're looking for a 1911 airsoft gun, a cheap one, but still good quality, I do recommend this Double Eagle M21. And this is available on Amazon right now. I believe it's between $6 and $7. And then, of course, you have to pay the shipping. I should point out that if you would like to get a metal or mostly metal 1911, they do make those, but a good example of those will cost you maybe like around 25 bucks, like 4 times the cost of this one. So, that's up to you if you want to spend, the extra money on it or whatever. But they do make some nice full metal or mostly metal 1911s also. So overall, I rate this gun quite highly. It looks good, performs well, was low cost and so forth. Has a very nice magazine, 20 round capacity, which is more than most 1911 airsoft guns that I've seen. And it's just a fun gun to have. So I do recommend it. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to ask them and I'll try to answer them for you. Comment, rate, and subscribe. And as always, thanks a lot for watching my videos.